Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We all know that sudden awful pit in the stomach feeling, right? You're face to face, or maybe on a call, or in a live chat with a client, and you can literally feel the tension rising. The stakes are getting higher, the customer is getting visibly frustrated, and you're staring down the barrel of a full-blown escalation. It's something pretty much everyone dreads. But today, we're gonna unpack exactly how to transform that precise moment of tension into a totally smooth resolution. Our source material today breaks down the essential framework for the art of diplomatic customer mastery. We're gonna walk through this step by step so you can take total control of your very next difficult interaction.
So here's the million-dollar question. Can you say no without causing annoyance? I mean, this targets the absolute core of our anxiety when we're dealing with clients. Saying yes, oh, that's easy. Everyone loves being the hero and delivering good news. But in the real world, you just can't always give the customer exactly what they're asking for. So the really crucial point here isn't whether you'll have to deliver a refusal. You definitely will. It's how you deliver it. And we're gonna explore exactly how the source material outlines the path to pulling off this seemingly impossible task.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Mastering Diplomatic Customer Skills.
To pull this off, we have to build what I like to call the escalation pyramid. And that really starts with understanding the tools we're working with. As the source illustrates, you have standard communication on one side. You know, that knee-jerk, almost defensive reaction where you just blurt out, well, that's our policy, or I don't know. And then on the flip side, there's what the source explicitly labels superior communication skill. Dealing with escalations doesn't just require you to be polite, it requires a highly specific, elevated toolkit. It's an active, deliberate approach to guiding a customer rather than just passively reacting to their frustration.
Moving right along to Section 2, Directing the Conversation. Let's look at the very base of our pyramid. These are your foundational offensive tactics. Step 1, ask better questions. Step 2, control the conversation. Notice the really direct link here. You don't control a conversation by talking the loudest, and you definitely don't win by talking over the customer. You control it by asking the right questions. Better questions uncover the actual root of the customer's issues super quickly. They literally force the customer to pause, take a breath, think, and engage with you constructively. When you're the one asking the targeted, intelligent questions, you are the one steering the ship. You're keeping the whole interaction productive and moving forward, which is absolutely vital before things get too heated. Now for Section 3, the power of transparency.
So once you're actively directing the flow of the conversation, it's time to move up to the next tier of our pyramid, which is establishing deep, unshakable trust by practicing transparency. The source highlights this as an absolute must-have skill. You have to know how to practice transparency with your customers. Why? Because transparency is the ultimate prerequisite to delivering bad news. Think about it. If you've been kind of vague, or if you've been making empty promises just to keep the peace temporarily, that customer is going to instantly turn on you the second they sense a refusal coming. But if you practice clear, honest communication right from the jump, if you actually explain the why behind your processes, you build this incredible buffer of trust. A calm, diplomatic demeanor that's rooted in absolute transparency guarantees that when you finally do hit a roadblock, the customer sees you as an honest partner, not just another obstacle in their way.
Which brings us to Section 4, Navigating Escalations and Refusals.
We've reached the very apex of the pyramid. This is the ultimate test of your diplomatic skills during a high-stress escalation. I mean, just think about these phrases for a second. No, not now, cannot be done. These are, without a doubt, the absolute hardest words for any customer-facing professional to say out loud. They're the exact phrases identified in our source material as the primary triggers for customer annoyance. Think about the heavy tension these words naturally carry. If you drop one of these phrases using standard reactive communication, you're going to instantly ignite an escalation. Boom. But if you've built your pyramid properly, if you've asked better questions to control the flow, and if you've maintained total transparency, you completely change the environment.
And this brings us to the core thesis of our source material today. Quote, "The ability to say no without annoying the customer is the key to any escalation." Seriously, let that sink in for a moment. This whole thing isn't about just giving the customer everything they want, it is entirely about your delivery. It's about utilizing those superior communication skills so effectively that the customer actually respects your boundary. When you can deliver a cannot be done and have the customer actually nod in understanding rather than scream in frustration, that is when you've achieved true diplomatic customer mastery.
So I'm gonna leave you with this to chew on. Next time an escalation arises, and trust me, it will, how are you going to deliver your no? Are you just gonna react defensively? Or are you going to build the pyramid?
Start asking those better questions, control the narrative, practice that unshakable transparency, and really master the art of the diplomatic refusal. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I highly, highly encourage you to test these techniques out in your very next tough conversation. Catch you next time.